So now you've just mentioned that you're doing a lot of work with women and
Yes.
you've been working on a lot of projects with women, and now you're more or less going into politics.
Yes.
What was the decision for that? Was it something you had thought about like years ago, or has it just happened?
I won't lie, before I am one of those people who have been saying Nakowa politics, Sagala politics. Yes. But because I have been so much into women projects, you write up something, but you lack a certain power. You lack a certain voice to put out, maybe to influence some things. Women have so much going on down on village level. They have circles, they have CBOs, they have projects, they have quite a lot. You as Natalia, when you come to them, get Centenary Bank, bridge the gap, bring them together, it is amazing. But if you went and got to a certain level, and you go to them as a Lord Woman Councillor in their area, it is different. There are things that don't need the signature of Natalia Akolako TV. There are documents that need you to be a Lord Woman Councillor of the area of Rubaga North, to be able to influence maybe funding. So that is what I am looking for. That is what influenced me. It pushed me a lot. I want this. But it gets hard to look for the people who are supposed to put this in order. So what did I do? I tried so much to get these women active, but we needed a certain power. Secondly, you need to be on the table of men, to listen, to know what is going on. Crystal, if you keep yourself in your house, lock yourself, get someone to do your shopping and bring it for you, you lock the world out for you. You will not know what's happening at Sheraton. As you come in, you meet so many people. Never know you will meet the person that you're going to interview next. So I want to get closer to KCCA. I want to know, what does KCCA have for the people in Rubaga? Bridge the gap. Let these people know that this is what is on ground. I want to be the voice for the women, for the youth, for the men, for the Boda riders in Rubaga at KCCA. Because also KCCA wants to hear out what is happening in Rubaga. If budgets, implementations, everything, policies are being made, there has to be a voice. That this is the voice, this is what we need in Rubaga. Okay. So that is where I'm coming out. Yes. Okay.
So you found yourself where you can only do so much where you are right now.
I can do. I have moved. I have done some projects.
Okay, so tell us a bit about some of the work you've done.
We designed, I think I'm going to share with you these photos so you can run them aside. We have the skilling projects. Now we have taken them across the country. Trying to skill women, letting them know that even if you bought this piece and came out with a wig, you can get some money off it. We have taught women how to make liquid soap, different projects they can do. But the most important thing is financial literacy. Because that is what is failing the women. That is what men and women do not know. So we put too much emphasis in our project called 30657 Challenge. Now that project we designed it from the world research, which stated that the government had fought so much to see that it's not only Uganda, but governments across Africa, to equip the youths with skills. Like you see, there are so many skilling centers, apparently. But when these people get the skill, at the end of the day, they do not know how to run or manage their finances. You can't do much when you don't know how to manage your finances. So we designed that 3657 challenge. In the research, it showed that it is very hard to educate someone who has already known how to value their money, like to use their money. You have to begin with the fresh minds, your daughters, people who are a bit young, and you direct them to the right path. However, also women are trying, the youths are trying so much to make sure that they earn a living, but at the same time save something so that their kids are not sent away from school because of a rim. So we decided to also include the women in our projects.
Yes.
That is one of the biggest projects I've ever done, and I should say I'm proud of. Because when we went to schools, initially we wanted to target the girls, but we ended up looking at the boys, and the boys were interested. I went to my former school, Alliance SS, and I met a boy who told me he works at a popcorn machine. So he earns 3,000 shillings every evening. But he used none to save. Apparently, he owns a bank account in Centenary Bank. He deposits his money.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to let you know, Crystal, that so many youths, so many young people get their first bank accounts during their first job employment. When the bosses ask you, where are we going to put your money? You run and open up a bank account, you understand? But we don't know how to deposit. We know how to withdraw.
Oh, yes. We wait for someone else to deposit and we just...
As soon as the money is deposited, between first and fifth, the accounts are empty.
Yes.
You understand? Yet, if we knew how to withdraw, if we knew how to deposit money, maybe we would do better. So if we teach these people right from an early stage, that even if you were border rider, if you can deposit this amount of money on a daily through a mobile money agent, even if it's 10,000 shillings or 5,000 shillings, it is easy for a bank to give you a loan. Because then they're also secure that you have been their client in this process. This is how the evidence we have through your bank statements. So that is one of my biggest causes. But then there is a very big problem of the raging under and unemployment. How do you handle it? Because yes, you're going to teach people how to save, but how are you going to teach them, or how are you going to help them to improve their businesses? A border rider, I'm going to give you, for example, a border rider. His problem is not 5 million like you. His problem is 200,000. His problem is 50K, because border crunch, he will sit for 2 weeks at home because he does not have where to get that 50K. So for me, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to get in a position where at least we can mobilize these people to get under CBOs or NGOs or SACCOs, and we see that maybe we use the positions, government, because KCCA has that 5 million shillings that it helps with, it gives to the youths who are doing something. But I need to know, how is it served? I need to be able to sign, to influence, to move.
To be a decision maker.
Yes, not to just tell them that send it to Jeziri. Techibayamba. But if I can get into there and see how I can influence, then it will be easy for them. That's the reason I'm standing. Not because I work on TV. I relate with these people on a daily. If you saw me coming through, I prefer here. I love the manager because he's also a decision maker, but I deal more with the askari at the entrance. If he says no, you won't enter, you won't enter.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
You seem very, very passionate about it.
Yes.
What sparked this off? This passion? What is the first project? Do you remember the first project you got involved in?
I began slowly doing my projects, visiting children, pregnant mothers that are under rehabilitation during my birthdays 5 years back.
Okay.
But then I picked interest. Actually, have dealt with Wamkisa Youth Foundation. It is under Church of Uganda. There, I made sure that every birthday of mine I take for them, they teach them, they rehabilitate them and teach them different skills. They get girls from different areas that have been made pregnant under bad circumstances and bring them out for rehabilitation. So that was more of my first project. I could take them materials to use, to learn tailoring, to learn hairdressing. I didn't know it would go this far. That is how we began. And here we are. There are so many young girls back at home in Lunguja that were not, I don't even know what to say. Apparently they have 3, 5 kids. because I tested, I want the girls to understand that life is what you make it. One of my aunties, Irene Namboze, always says that life is what you make it. I have tested it. If you live through poverty growing up, you need to fight, to make sure that you don't let your kids go through the same life growing up. And that's what I'm dying for.
Previously on Crystal One-on-One.
I was born 91, August, 28th of August, Kavale Hospital.
Oh, so your birthday is coming up.
Yeah, it's coming up.
August,
Should be in a few weeks. I was born in Kavale Hospital.
Okay.
In Kavale.
Okay.
I'm a Mchiga. And yeah.
Okay. What's the one thing like you're proud of? You're like, yes.
As a filmmaker, changed people's lives. You've made people fall in love. You've made people dance to the tunes. You made people enjoy videos. You've inspired so many people.
Being named on the list of 30 under 34.
It is not the money. It's not about the money.
No, it's about...
It's about... because I think people...
I like the way you clarify
It's not about
that.
the money. You just have to be passionate. Passion is the most important thing out there. Don't look at the money. Don't look at being a star. Just pursue your dreams. Push for what you want. And to be honest, everything's just going to work out.
I want the young women to know that they have the power. It is not getting married to men. Kamfunowa boda boda, muzalire. No, you can do much more. We can break the glass ceiling. We can do much more, Crystal. Yes.
And they just need to know how.
How? They just need
Because
guidance.
sometimes people are like, they're stuck. They don't know where to even begin.
Sometimes I want to sit down. Even the girls I get as house help at home, the first thing in my house is to get a bank account. But you know the mentality they come with. Auntie, sente zange bajja ziba mu banka. No. Funa account, tufune engeri tukuteerako sente ezo. Because we zinaabeera wamu ojja zikola ki? Zikozesa bulungi. I just wish I would meet girls and cut off their heads and then tell them how things work.
Yes, there's a lot that needs to be done. Yes. And I can tell you've been through a lot as well.
Yeah.
What are you most grateful for? Because you've talked about your grandfather. And you talked about one of your aunties. Who's inspired you along the way?
There's so many people because you cannot be 100% perfect. But I respect my mother. Immediately after she had a misunderstanding and divorced my dad, she didn't get married again. She decided to stay and raise us. She did. In her capacity, she tried. So many young women immediately after divorce, they are moving on to the next relationship. Same old problems. But we are four. She managed to contain it as a young woman and raised us in her way. So I get great inspiration from her, and I ask God every day to do so I can do it that way. I wouldn't want to get married several times. So my mama, the protection, she would do anything to make sure you guys are safe. Mungeriye, you understand. So mama, thank you so much. Mami wange, damad. Thank you so much. I also I'm inspired by my grandfather. Amidst all the negativity, I don't know what was in his head. He believed, he always knew, he always told me there's something special about us. I went through university, he was paying my tuition. He was about 80-something paying my tuition, but he never asked me for my transcript. Let a transcript to you on Jirabe. No. And this should be a lesson to the young women, more so to the young people out there. If someone has given you a hand, use it right. Because if I had misused the tuition, maybe he would have been disappointed. But I used the tuition right. But I should say he inspired me. My grandfather, through his school, he educated thousands. time comes for Kanta, people are doing final exams, but they have not cleared the last 3 months. I mean, last 3 terms, school fees. It's like, in that process, his school is not one of the biggest schools. It remained an average school, but it has mothered, it has nurtured thousands, people who are hopeless, people like us. Really, who wouldn't be inspired by such a person? He's resting well. I know God will serve him exactly as he did for the people in Rubaga. Secondly, I'm inspired by Nina Simona. From Nina, I learned that everything is possible, and she had no, I won't. No, if she wants something, she will go for it. I like you and Juliana. The privacy, the respect you've attached to your families. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. Yes.
Okay. Whew. That's emotional. Okay. So, my dear, now that you want to be a decision maker and you want to try and see how you can help as many people as possible, in terms of your journey and what you've been through, you've talked about the fact that, people can pull themselves out of situations. They can change their circumstances. What do you want to do for a lot of people, young people? What are you trying to tell them? What message do you have for them?
Do not be afraid of change. Is a factor of life. It's part of life.
And it's scary for everyone.
Yes. Secondly, don't beat yourself around and say, kakati mnange nze sija kusobola, kati anti nze sina sente. Find a way of befriending the best people who you know will see you through. You understand? There's a way I try and hook myself up to someone who I know unalimo mulamwa. You understand? I want you to be able to move, to do stuff for yourself. I also don't want people who beat themselves around. The sina sente. You understand? Come up, sit on the table of me. Tell them I am here. Behave well. Pray to God. Make the right decisions. Like dating at a tender age is not going to change anything. But to put you down, definitely. You get pregnant. Even if you don't get pregnant, even if you abort, you will never stay the same. So you need to, career guidance is one of the most important things. Even if it's someone mukuru wokuchalo, mwebuzeko. Get people who you look up to. Get closer to them. The more you get closer to people you look up to, you start to live like them. You live through them. You emulate.
Yes.
You will never go wrong. Yes.
Absolutely.
You will never go wrong.
And stop being a victim.
Yes.
I've said this to many people and they're shocked when I tell them directly. I'm like, you're being a victim. Everyone else is the cause of your problems. You don't want to take responsibility for, in some ways, for where you are in life. So that's very important. You must pull yourself up.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining me on the show.
Thank you too for hosting me.
Your birthday is coming up.
Yes.
Happy birthday to
me.
you.
You know,
I
love my birthdays because every October I reach out to the young women. Actually, we were moving. The whole of this week we've been doing different. We are meeting different people. I'll be releasing content next week. I'm excited. If I don't manage to reach out to you, just know I love you.
Well, at Sheraton, we have something planned for you.
Okay.
Yes, for your birthday. So I think, yeah, we're going to get to that. But happy birthday, my dear.
Thank you for the cake.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Thank you. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
But thank you so much.
Thank you for taking
joining
good care of yourself and looking good, loving women, inspiring though you have a class, the corporate. Thank you for being that icon. We need you. We need women. We need people who will remind people to move the straight line. I'm not saying you're the most perfect, but
Of course not.
I have
my
followed
issues.
you. Yeah. But thank you for putting out a good image.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Pleasure.